Today, I'm going to talk about fasting. Fasting is a great tool to use both to lose weight and to show discipline, right? So, fasting 14 to 18 hours a day. I do 16 to 18 most days, but obviously start off with a reduced eating time, increased eating time, and then reduce your eating time. So, my eating hours are from 12 or 2, depends on the day, to about 8:30, 9:30, depending on the day. Obviously, it depends when I've got training, stuff like that. Obviously, I need to eat after I train and stuff like that. So, fasting 14 to 18 hours a day is so beneficial. I lost over 20 kilograms of fat and put on a decent amount of muscle whilst doing so. So what I was doing was fasting most of the day and then having a smaller window of eating, about 6 to 8 hours. What this does is this reduces your binging eating in the evening, which is what most overweight people tend to do. In the evening, it's 10, 11 p.m. at night, you've got nothing to do apart from wake up at 6 o'clock for work, and you're up late and you do something you shouldn't, like eating food. You shouldn't be eating food that late because it will fuck up your sleep and it'll fuck up your physical and mental well-being. It's not good for you. So, cutting your reducing hours to just 6 to 8 hours or even less than that. You can do OMAD, which is one meal a day. So you just eat one meal at like say 5 to 7 p.m. and then you don't eat again until 5 to 7 the next day, which I personally haven't done, but obviously there are people out there that do it. It doesn't work for me because I feel like I want to eat after training. Um, and I personally don't like kickboxing with no food in me, so I wouldn't be able to not eat before. But you can do OMAD with snacks, like if you have one meal a day at like 8 p.m. after you've trained or whenever you train. This is just when I train. After you've trained, and then you have like a banana and honey or and dates or whatever before you train. But fasting is so beneficial. Um, when you're fasting, try and eat intentionally. Eat to fuel and don't just eat. And when you're eating just to eat, it's like, you could have 6 Maryland cookies, or you could have a sirloin steak, or 6 eggs, or fucking 10 cans of tuna. It's all the same calories, roughly. But what's better for you? You already know what's better for you. The one ingredient food. So the eggs, the steak, the natural shit, alright? And eating the natural shit fills you up much better because it's more saturating. The protein is more saturating compared to the shit that you could be eating, the cookies or the anythings, right? So what I've been doing most days is obviously I wake up at the same time, 6 to 7 in the morning each day, and then I fast until 12 to 2. If I have work, I fast till 2. If I don't have work, I'll just eat a little bit earlier if I need to. I tend to not. I tend to just eat when I'm like dying, which is normally, if I'm not working, it's harder to fast, definitely. So I'm fasting till maybe 12 to 2 roughly is when I break my fast. And then I won't eat again until about 6:30, and then I won't eat again until after I've trained, so 9 ish. I'll have a Greek yogurt bowl always after training, or like the Arla protein yogurts, which are really good. They're so good. But eating intentionally and increasing the protein intake to about 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. Right, so I'm about. I want to be about 88 pound, 88 kilograms, which is about 160, 170 pounds. So that's 160, 170 grams of protein a day, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but I'm quite big. I'm 6'2", and I want to weigh 88 kilograms. At the moment, I weigh 92, but I want to cut 4 kilograms, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just in a calorie deficit at 500 on top of the training which I'm doing, on top of the 20,000 steps a day I'm doing. So eating the protein really does help reduce your appetite and suppress it. Another thing that I like to do, which suppresses your appetite, is caffeine. So not monsters or anything like that, because I don't like them. But I have black coffees, and then I might have a tea every now and then, but they have like little to no caffeine in them, and it doesn't affect me at all. So black coffees. But when you're having black coffees or just coffees, wait 60 to 90 minutes after you've woken up to drink a coffee. If you don't, you'll have an afternoon crash, which is what you probably have at the moment, because you're drinking coffee 5 minutes after you wake up. As soon as I stopped doing this, I stopped having crashes in the afternoon. I watched a video on, I think it was Chris Williams' podcast, and he talked about it, and it was, yeah, I've stopped doing it since. Also, if you're drinking coffees in the morning and you're fasting, you have to have it black. You can't have milk and sugar, because that's cheating. Same with sweeteners. You can't have sweeteners. You just have to have the ground coffee, or however you like your coffee, black, just water, no milk, no sugar, no nothing, no nonsense. Anyways, in conclusion, basically, fasting is fucking brilliant if you want to lose weight, if you want to cut fat. Obviously, do it sensibly. Don't go straight into fasting 18 hours a day. That's retarded. Don't do that. That would be silly. Don't do that. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend starting about 14 hours. That's quite easy, because think about it, you're sleeping for 8 hours. So say you wake up at a normal time, like 7. You're only fasting until 1, right? You know what I mean? So you could eat the minute you go to bed, which you shouldn't. Say you go to bed at 10, which you shouldn't. No, so you go to bed at 12, which you shouldn't, obviously, just to make the maths easier. And then you wake up at 8. That's 8 hours of sleep, right? It may not be all straight out 8 hours of sleep, but say you ate at 12 and then you wake up at 8. All you would have to do is not eat until 2, right? Yeah, no, 12, sorry. So it's not that long, right? It's not that long. So then you can slowly improve this and increase the time. So now at the moment, I fast, but I do it sort of unintentionally. So I just fast all morning, because I'm just used to it now. So I don't even have to think about food in the mornings. It's only about, what's the time now? It's 1 p.m. now, and I'm not hungry at all, and I've had 1 coffee. I used to have 3 black coffees, be fucking shaking, still fucking hungry, but you gotta push for it and not be a fucking pussy. So just wait and don't eat, and drink water. Drink 2-3 liters of water a day minimum. Drink your black coffees. Although I have reduced my coffee significantly. It's 1 p.m. now, and I've only had 1 coffee, and I had it at 8 a.m. and I woke up at 6:15. So yeah, I don't need them anymore. I just sleep adequately. I try to sleep since from 9 p.m. to about 6:15. I wake up at 6:15 because I don't know. I like that time. Gives me enough time to get ready for work for 7, and when I'm at home and I don't have work, it gives me enough time to get up and just fucking lock in, right? So if I'm not at work and I've got my job, if I'm not going to my job at 7, I'm in my chair studying or working, and I've got the whole morning by myself, by silence. I can do anything I want. Just fucking brilliant, There's no distractions. I live in England, so it's still fucking dark, right? There's no sun, which is fucking shit. But as soon as there is sun, open them fucking blinds. I mean, you can see I'm quite pale, but that is not out of choice. That is out of living in England, which the lack of vitamin D here is just. Anyways, yeah, I tried to conclude this about 5 minutes ago because it's not actually a long talking point. It's just fasting. I mean, it's good for you. So if you can discipline yourself to fast for 18 hours a day, what the fuck can't you do? Why the fuck can't you train? Why the fuck can't you make money? Why the fuck can't you do this? It's easy, and also you're saving so much time. Before, when I was a fat fuck and I was weighing 115, whatever it was, 118 kilograms, I was thinking about food all the time. I'd come back from school school when I was fat. I was 16. I'm now 19. 16, 17-ish. And now I'm 19. But I'd come back from school and I'd have a pot noodle with like half a loaf of bread. Can you tell me why the fuck I was eating that? With like a packet of McVitie's digestive biscuits. Can you tell me why I was doing that? No, you can't. It's unintentional and it's stupid. You shouldn't be doing that. And I shouldn't have been doing it. Thank fuck I learned. Okay? But there's still a lot of fat people out there. And as a ex-fat man myself, I just want to help these people out, man. Because being fat is just so negligent of yourself. It's like self-harming. That's how I see it. I see it self-harming. Like, when you cut your wrists or, hurt yourself, like take drugs, shit like that. It's self-harming. You're limiting your ability to do things, right? Go to the gym, train, fight, move. It's hard to walk up the stairs. It's hard to walk around the block. It's hard to run 1 kilometer. I mean, I'm not good at running. I never claimed to be good at running. I'm still washed at running. Only reason I run is for training. I don't do it because I love it. I do it because I don't want to be fat anymore. And who the fuck wants to be fat? No one wants to be fat. You don't want to be fat. Lose weight and you'll realize you don't want to be fat. Every time there's a holiday and I put on a little bit of weight because, you got Christmas dinners, you got shit that I shouldn't be eating. It's not even necessarily shit that I shouldn't be eating. It's just the volume that I'm eating increases. So I'm in a calorie surplus for too long. Like December, I put on I think 8 kilograms, which is what, 18 pounds, which is what, 1.5 stone, 2 stone. Just doing some conversions roughly. I don't know them exactly, but yeah. You don't want to be fat, man. When you lose the weight, it's much easier to keep it off when you're trying intentionally to try and keep it off. And then even when you've hit that point where it's just like, oh, now I can lose weight, you can put on weight and be comfortable with losing weight. After Christmas, I was about 96, 97 kilograms, and now I'm 92. I know it's only been a month, but that's 5 kilograms of mostly fat I've lost. I would admit I lost a little bit of muscle, but that's because I got ill and various other things happened. But mostly fat, and now I can actually train. I was training in December whilst I was 97 kilograms, and I couldn't fucking punch, and I couldn't fucking kick, and my hip mobility and my flexibility was fucking shit, right? Before I could put my hands flat on the floor when I'm touching. When you're touching your toes like that, I put my hand flat on the floor. Even like that, easy as fuck. My flexibility was insane. And then I put on weight, and then it's like, could barely touch my toes, man. So, I went on a little bit of a rant about losing weight. But trust me, as an ex-fat man myself, 115, 118 kilograms. At 16, I was 6 foot, 5'11". I wasn't like John Jones, 6'4", 105 kilograms. Think about it, I was shorter and I weighed more than John Jones. Explain that. You can't explain that shit. It's stupid. You shouldn't be that fat. You're negligent towards yourself and your family by being that fat. I promise you now. Lose the weight. Cut the weight, man.